started raining again. No Costa coffee today. I ain't got a clue what's going on. Just noticed a huge problem. Everything's broken today. That's another fail. Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes, and today I'm up and about way later than I planned to be. But the weather looks like it's going to be staying quite nice today, and the days are starting to get longer now as we get closer and closer to summer, so I should be able to get a few things done. Everyone seems to be loving the new mug, so massive shout to everyone who's already grabbed one. Everyone seems to like the satin finish ones best, and these are running out very quick. The ESTHER ones obviously now feature all her new carbon fibre and black parts, and the moored ones just a slight change with her black and silver number plate. The print on these is definitely more crisp thanks to my new supplier, and the logo on the back is bigger. These mugs, as well as all my other merchandise, can be purchased through my website at marcushayesuk.com, and yeah, massive thanks to everyone who has been grabbing some bits. I really appreciate the support.
Well, it looks like the weather might be about to take a turn for the worse, but I'm not going to worry about things that are beyond my control. Later on, my beautiful girlfriend Kat is going to come down to the garage in Winston, her plastic Ford Fiesta, and we're hoping to finally solve his misfiring issues. While I'm waiting for Kat to come down, I'm going to spend a little bit of time on ESTHER, my ST170 powered Mk1 Escort, and maybe later on I might have a little bit of time to spend on my dad's Mark III.
Right, so I've made it to the garage and it was just chucking it down with rain, so I haven't got the Mark 1 out yet. Gary, Rob's dad, is nicking the cylinder head off of my spare Zetec engine. And that engine was actually given to me by a guy called Tony, who I haven't seen for a while, so massive shout to you if you're watching. Gary's ST170 turbo engine in his 100E. Carnage happened and now he's got a load of bent valves and yeah, he needs a cylinder head. So now he's going to go blacktop cylinder head on the ST170 bottom end, which is a common thing that people do. So yeah, hopefully this cylinder head will be all right for you, mate.
Let's hope so.
Alright, first thing I want to do quickly is hook up all these earth wires that aren't hooked up in the engine bay. I've got this one here that comes from the electric fan that I can just attach to that screw there, which has got all the earths coming from the relays that are down there. And I've got this brown wire over this side, which I'm going to attach to the body somewhere, along with this one that goes to the negative battery terminal. I think I'm just going to attach that about there, and then it'll be hidden when the battery's in, and yeah, that should reach there as well. So I'm going to crack on with that. I just need to drill one hole and I'll catch up with you afterwards. Alright, so earth wires are attached, and same this side. Put the freshly charged battery back in. Let's drop the security post so we don't damage the front end again. Although I have set up a mirror now so I can just about see the post from the driver's seat. And it started raining again. Gary's just about ready to pull the head off this Zetec, and then we can see the state of the pistons and the valves. That should be alright.
Have I got all the head bolts now?
It did move when you hit it that last time, I think.
Did it?
Yeah. There you go.
She's gone.
We've got no holes in the pistons, that's always a good sign. All the valves are present and correct. So yeah, that should be sweet. There she is, cylinder head going to a new home. Hopefully that'll be sweet on Gary's 100E. Alright, so it seems like the rain has stopped, at least for the time being. Fred has just passed through on his motorbike, but he's actually going to be shooting off now. Later on. Well, what I'm going to have a look at now is ESTHER's headlights. As I showed you in a recent video, one of them seems to be orange on the LED halo bit of it. And what I didn't realise, and loads of you let me know in the comments of a recent video, is that these headlights are actually capable of having the indicators as well as the headlights on them. So basically this side, I've wired up the indicator side of the circuitry, and yeah, that's why it's orange. Turn the wheel so it's out of the way. So these headlights had one plug on here, which has got the 3 pins on it, like a normal headlight, and then it had these 2 other wires coming out of it, and I basically just hooked those up to the 2 wires that I had coming out of my loom that used to be attached to the side light. Now obviously one of those wires in the loom goes to earth, I assume, and then the other one is the positive for the side light bulb. But yeah, I'm guessing that these headlights earth out on the light unit themselves, and then you basically hook up one of these wires to your indicator circuit if you want to run the indicators that are in these LED headlights, and then the other one up to the side light wire. So I'm guessing that the yellow wire will be the indicator side of it. So if I unplug that one, then I'm guessing that this one that I've got hooked up to the red wire is the earth. If I plug that one into there, let's try it. And there we have it. Headlights are now working as they should. Sweet. So yeah, for the side lights, you only need the one wire hooked up. And then the other wire, if I wanted to, I could hook that up to the indicator circuit. And then when you flick the indicators on, you'd have an orange ring flashing. But I'm not going to do that. And on the other side, I've obviously got the indicator side of the headlight wiring just wired up to where the earth side of the side light used to be attached to. So that's not doing anything. Yeah, I can unplug that. And as you can see, that side light still works. So massive thanks again to Chris Denigan for sending me those headlights. Chris himself actually commented in that recent video telling me that I had them wired up the wrong way. I was actually gonna email you about them, Chris, but I didn't get around to it. But yeah, now they're working sweet. Now Kat is on her way down at the moment with Winston, but while I'm waiting for her, I'm gonna quickly take ESTHER down the road and just check that now that those earths are all attached in the engine bay, that I'm not getting the breakup of the engine like I was in the last video. Yeah, she's definitely broken. Under load, it just won't rev up at all, and now it won't even idle properly. Squeak coming from the engine, pops and bangs from the exhaust. Yeah, I think I'm going to try a different coil pack on it, see if that does anything. My beautiful girlfriend Kat has arrived with Winston, the plastic Fiesta. No Costa coffee today though, because the machine was broken in the garage. Yep. So I'm going to have to make do with some Walker's crisps and a Lucozade, but we do have some donuts, so all is not lost. Now I've just fitted one of my spare coil packs to ESTHER, but with her battery now being dead, I've had to hook up the auto wit jump starter as well. Just let that charge up and then see if ESTHER's running any better with the different coil pack, because I ain't got a clue what's going on. Auto wit has just bleeped, so it's ready to pump the power back into the battery. Once it does the long beep, you can fire it up. One. Well, I've just noticed a huge problem. I just whipped all the plugs out of ESTHER's engine and I found one that is broken. Now that was number 2 spark plug, and when I pulled them out, I cracked them all off this way and then I started pulling them out this way. So when I've taken number 2 out, I've then put the tool onto number 1, and you can see all round the spark plug hole little bits from that other spark plug. And what you probably can't see on the camera, but I can see, is the main bit of missing spark plug is actually sitting on top of the piston inside cylinder 1, which is obviously not good. we're going to plug into Rob's electricity and hoover that bit of spark plug out of the cylinder. Well, I can't see it, but I'm not sure if that's a big enough hole for it to have gone through. Let's have a look. Right, so I've put Esther away. I'm going to leave her alone, have a look at her another day, just having a donut. In other news, I just dropped Kat's phone and broke her screen protector. And my phone, when people call me, I can't hear them. So everything's broken today. But now I'm going to turn my attention to Winston, the plastic Fiesta. And hopefully we're going to have some success with him. He's been having this misfiring issue and the scanner seems to tell us that it's cylinder 2. And apparently, if the scanner can even tell you what cylinder it is, that means it must be the injector or the injector wiring. So we bought this used injector off of eBay, and in the listing for this injector on eBay it actually had a picture of 4 injectors. So I thought I was getting 4 and I was only getting 1. I think that's really sly of the seller. They know what they're doing. But anyway, we're going to swap out the injector for cylinder 2, and then hopefully the engine won't misfire like it has been. It's only very slight, but you can see when it does it because it sort of jerks on the engine mount. So yeah, fingers crossed this will solve Winston's issues. Right, so because everything I touch today keeps breaking, Kat's gonna have a go at doing this. We've just got 2 nuts by the looks of it holding the fuel rail on. There's one there and one there. I will just move this sort of hardline pipe out the way. Let's remove this one as well. There you go.
Is that on properly?
Yeah, I think so. No, the other way.
Are those injectors?
Yeah.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah. Like that.
Just like that.
Weren't you supposed to be doing this?
Yeah, I know. Marcus Hayes takes over again.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, I'm guessing, like that. I'm guessing, I'm still guessing. So that obviously releases the wiring. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that.
Fuel's
going to squirt out. And they are different. Damn. That's another fail for the day. But yeah, we've noted the numbers off of Winston's actual injector and we'll just have to order one exactly the same. But yeah, for now, let's put Winston back together. I am going to quickly just clean each injector just with some brake cleaner. I don't think that's going to do it any damage, just in case any of these like nozzles in there are blocked and that's what's been causing the issue. But yeah, other than that, put Winston back together and fail number 26 of the day. Seems less noticeable from this end, but it was very slight anyway. So the saga of Winston's misfire continues. We're going to pack up now and go home, but I'm actually going to continue this video in a couple of days when I get back round here with a fully charged battery for Esther, and we'll see if I can figure out what's going on with her. See you in a sec.
Hello, right, so a few days have passed since the last clip, and it's fair to say that this whole video has been a disaster. Apart from getting Esther's headlights working properly, but then again, the only reason they weren't working was because of my own stupidity anyway. Now, there's been a couple of more disasters in the last couple of days, so I'm going to bring you all up to speed. I went to the garage yesterday with a fully charged battery, and I was trying to get Esther to start, and I wasn't able to get her to start. I don't know whether, you know, both of my coil packs are bad or the spark plugs are bad, but yeah, she wouldn't fire up. But I did notice that it sounded like one cylinder was down on compression, you know, it's going like na 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 na. Also, yesterday, the rod came out of Esther's driver's side door handle while she was in the garage, which meant that I couldn't open the car door to get my keys out of the ignition, which meant I couldn't lock the garage door. So I ended up having to jack the car up while it was in the garage and drag it over a bit so that I could get round to the passenger side and open the door. Luckily that door was unlocked, and then I was able to drop the handbrake and roll the car out of the garage to retrieve the keys and stuff. So I need to put another clip on the rod that goes to the door handle, but yeah, that's another story. Now today I came around the garage and basically I was thinking to myself, should I just take the cylinder head off of the engine to see if I've definitely got all those bits of spark plug out of the number one cylinder, especially seeing as it did sound like one cylinder was down on compression. So I decided to do a compression test today, and cylinder one has got 50% less compression than all the other cylinders. So there's definitely something going on. So I've decided I'm definitely going to take the cylinder head off, obviously, and today I started stripping everything off. I didn't get none of it on film, but yeah, in the next video you'll see me take the cylinder head off and we'll see what damage has been done. I'm hoping it's just the cylinder head. I don't know if like maybe a bit of the spark plug has got trapped in between one of the valves and bent the valve, or you know, it's stopping it from seating properly. You know, I haven't actually properly started the engine since I found that bit of spark plug in the cylinder. So hopefully I haven't done catastrophic damage, and hopefully it's just the cylinder head. But yeah, we'll just have to see. So find out in the next video exactly what the damage is. If you thought this video was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you didn't, give it a thumbs up anyway, because I'm having so much grief with the cars. Click subscribe to keep up to date with all my future uploads, and check the links in the description to my social media and my website. I'll also leave my email address down there for anyone who wants to contact me. But other than that, until next time, thanks for watching.